A lot of the cars is way overpriced, and it's crazy because they rather do this than bring the car down to the right price where it's affordable.
To everybody out there watching this video, you figured out nobody's coming to save you. You found your way here. That's what makes you a real one. I'm Micah. Welcome to the Common Sense Show, where we're breaking down business, money, wealth, personal finance like it should have been taught to us. As early as 2026, the average new vehicle in the United States costs $50,000. Let that sit in. That's the average, $50,000. Not a luxury vehicle, not a loaded pickup. That's the average transaction price on a car right now across the US. According to a CarRage analysis from February 2026, there's $39 billion of cars sitting right now on dealer lots across the country. Meanwhile, 56% of Americans say it's a bad time to buy a car. It kind of feels like a bad time to buy a car, especially at the sticker price that we're talking about right now. So you've got record high prices, you got dealers sitting on inventory that they can't move, you got Americans on average, the majority, feeling like it's not a great time to buy a car right now because of too high price. That is a recipe for disaster. But if you do decide to buy a vehicle right now, this year, stay to the end of this video because I'm giving you 5 new laws that were passed by the federal government in 2024, and I'm giving you 7 ways that you can leverage those laws into negotiating a better deal for yourself. Let's get into it.
So I'm a used car dealer, and what that means is I get the luxury of going to these used car dealer auctions. I can see what's happening to the car market on the ground floor. I did 9,500. I can see what these cars are actually bringing on a wholesale level. I can see if there's a lot of repos coming through the system. I can see if these cars are actually selling, if dealers are actually buying. Lumpy Nissan is what it is with no top.
I hate those Nissans. I gotta be honest with you. Like, I've never really liked them. They've always been kind of ugly to me. But I mean, the fact that this guy says that he can go to the auction, and have you all ever been to an auction? They're very interesting. A car auction, I mean.
All right, got bids coming in now. And this is a luxury that you don't have. But you know what? I'm going to bring you with me today, and you get to see what dealers are actually paying for these used cars. All right, it's rolling out. Still $7,000. All right, and I was not at this auction last week, but I was here 2 weeks ago, and if you saw the video, this Jeep ran through and didn't sell. So that means it's been here at least 2 consecutive sales and not selling, and we're starting to see that a lot. And really, I want to see a lot of no sales go through the auction, because when that happens, that means that these dealers will actually start to lower their prices. And what that tells you a lot is that these independent dealers, used car dealers like me, there's not a lot of appetite, there's not a lot of demand for them to pay up for what these sellers actually want for these vehicles, and that's a good thing for the market. It's going to mean the wholesale prices are still coming down. Sellers have to just get this thing that's just going to click in their brain to say, you know what, it's not going to bring any more. There's a saying in the used car market, first money, best money. That means that typically when a car runs through the auction for the very first time, that's going to be the most money that it's going to bring. So that Jeep's going to continue to bring less and less money, and when that seller actually realizes, you know what, we just need to cut bait with it, they're going to take a lower price than what they actually wanted for the vehicle, and that's going to push wholesale prices down across the market as we see more of these no sales pop up.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to understand that there is some flexibility in these used car prices, but I think at the end of the day, it all depends on what these dealers get the car for, right? Like what they buy it for indicates what their margin is. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see kind of what happens moving forward, but there's only a certain amount that that buyers are willing to pay for these cars. They're not willing to pay, $50,000 for a used car, depending on the car, of course, but it's important for dealers to price these things right. Right now, cars are really high. Even used ones. I think they're very expensive.
I try to tell people, like, our profit margins are at an all-time small. Let me show you something. I just took this vehicle in on trade. Let me show you what we're already asking for. Mind you, there's one picture online because it just got here. That is the trade value. That is what we gave for the trade.
So they gave $63,500 for this trade. $63,500 for a 2023 Ram 3500 Limited, if my glasses are right.
So there's no funny business to show you this same Ram. That is our price.
So they listed it as $65,998. So about $2,000, they're saying.
Now, I don't know how good you are at math, but literally that is a $2,498 difference. What are we going to do with reconditioning? What are we going to do with pack? What are we going to do with detail? Already in the hole on this vehicle, and it just got here. So when I tell you we have no room to move, we have no room to move.
I'm not sure if that's a good buy or bad buy. It sounds kind of a little narrow to be bought by a dealership, right? Like, wouldn't you expect the dealers to actually buy something that has a little bit more like room? I don't know. It seems a little, maybe it's because it's brand new. And I've heard that the newer the car is, the less the margin there is. And usually the older the car is, the more margin. I mean, that seems to be true in this case. But again, this just shows what dealers are up against in terms of price compression right now in the market.
A lot of the cars that's coming out right now is way overpriced. And these companies, they know that already. So don't be surprised. The end of this year, they're going to be doing a lot of sign here. We'll give you 3 months off before your first payment. We'll give you 0 ARP. I'm going to tell you, no matter if your credit is good, bad, come on down. We'll sign you up. And it's crazy because they rather do this than bring the car down to the right price where it's affordable and it's not price gouging. And if you got bad credit and you got the money to spend on these marked up cars, whoop-de-doo, then do it. Do it by all means. If you're an average person looking to buy one of the newer vehicles and stuff like that, just wait it out. Wait till all of this stuff because it's going to go down and they're going to be pushing cars out there for half the price because this is just the beginning. People are not buying cars and they know this. That's why they're trying to get you in the door. But they want to keep that main mark sticker price without letting you leave that store.
I do think that prices have come down. That negotiating power has shifted to the buyers right now. Well, the prices will come down. We'll see. You know, business is business. Now, on this show, look, I'm a business guy. I've been a business guy for over 20 years. And I'm telling you that there are some cases like the expensive fast food video I did. If you haven't had a chance, opportunity to take a look at that, I'll put it up here so you can see it. But like that video I did, we do have to make allowances for the fact that businesses have cost that they have to take care of. And if their costs are too high, then it's not going to have much room for consumers to be able to get the kind of prices that they're thinking about. Maybe there's just a misalignment in how the consumers and the dealers are actually fundamentally seeing the car market right now. Let me know what you're seeing with car prices in the comment section.
Sold 50 cars last month, and this month we haven't done anything. I think, it's the 10th, and we've sold 7 cars, 6 cars, somewhere in that ballpark. I got one that I can't even give away. I was on vacation for a week, talked to my brother. He said, hey, we sold the Infiniti today. I'm like, great, that car needed to go. And I get back, and it's still here. We didn't sell it. The lady that called on it called all the way from Hawaii. The 2021 Infiniti QX50, it's got like 90,000 miles, 95,000 miles. I've marked it down on the internet all the way to $16,500. It's so cheap, a lady that can't even drive it to where she is living called us on it. Can't even get to her. I'm probably gonna have to mark it down again. It's still here. It's gonna hit 90 days here probably in the next week or so. And it has got to go. Right now it is rough. I mean, we can't give anything away. Unbelievable. Friends Drive Junk, 816-295.
That sounds like what a lot of dealers are going through. I mean, can't give cars away. Cars are super expensive. Their acquisition costs are really high. And during the pandemic, do you remember when cars were like ridiculously stupid high? And the fact that they're going through that right now, are they overstocked? I think in a lot of cases, dealers are overstocked with vehicles. I used to get flyers in the mail like every other day that the dealership down the street wanted my car. This is during the pandemic. But now I don't get flyers at all or emails asking for my car. So I wonder if it's because they're overstocked with cars. That's what my gut tells me. Anyways, what are your thoughts? And have you seen dealers being overstocked with cars? What are they saying to you? What are you seeing out there? Share with the community in the comments. Let us know kind of what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. Let us know where you're from and what you're seeing so that we can kind of gauge it against where we are in our neighborhoods right now. I have some final thoughts for you. I got some tips and some leverage points to protect you in your next car negotiation. Car dealers are in a tough spot right now. They're holding on to a bunch of inventory at the moment. Tariffs have driven up the replacement cost of those vehicles, and buyers are pretty much tapped out. In that environment, dealers are going to squeeze harder. They're going to try to get you for more, as much leverage as they actually can, because they have to work harder for every single sale. But that's exactly when you have to know your rights at the highest level possible. As promised, here are the 5 federal rights that you have when you're buying a car. Now, in July of 2024, the Federal Trade Commission enacted a rule called the CARS Rule. That stands for Combating Auto Retail Scams Rule. This is a federal law, and this is to help you understand your rights when you're buying a car. Right number 1, you have the right to the real price up front. Dealers are now legally required to disclose what the FTC calls the offering price when you go buy the car. That's the full actual price that you will pay for the vehicle, excluding only government fees like taxes and registration. Right number 2, add-ons are optional, period. gap insurance, extended warranties, VIN etching, anything that you could buy that they used to tell you that's required is now optional. They have no right to enforce you to actually purchase an add-on. In fact, as many as 75% of buyers at dealerships had either add-ons secretly added or under the false claim that they were required by law. Be careful of those add-ons. Check your contract. Right number 3, you must give expressed informed consent before being charged for anything. Dealers cannot sneak charges into your contract. Under the CARS rule, you must get your clear, written, and oral consent before charging you for anything beyond the agreed upon price. Important for you to know that. Right number 4, they cannot charge you for add-ons that don't benefit you. And this is the big one. The CARS rule explicitly prohibits dealers from selling you add-on products that provide no real value to you. The example the FTC uses directly is selling gap insurance to someone whose loan-to-value ratio is so favorable that Gap would never pay it out anyway. Gap insurance is the insurance that they try to give you. That's the difference between the value of your car and the assessed value of your car when you drive it off the lot, the depreciated value. So if your car is worth, when you drive it off the lot, $30,000 and you owe $48,000, the gap insurance covers that $18,000 difference. Now, they are legally required to make sure that there's a value to you before they even sell that to you. I mean, that seems like obvious, but it's a real pain and people are getting tricked by this. Right number 5. These violations have real consequences. If the dealers break these rules, they can be fined civil penalties over $50,000. So they do not want to violate these rules. Be eagle-eyed when it comes to anything that you're signing and anything you're agreeing to. Now I want to get into the 7 ways that you can create leverage for yourself in your dealer negotiation. Leverage point number 1. Know the inventory reality before you walk in. There's cars sitting on lots for longer than 90 days. That's how you know you're in a buyer's market. Use tools like CarEdge and KBB that publish market data and supply data so that you can know how long that car has actually been sitting there. And that's important because if a car has been sitting there, they're going to want to move it, especially before the end of the year, so they don't pay taxes on it. You have leverage points. Leverage point number 2, know the invoice price. The MSRP is the manufacturer's suggested price. The invoice price is what the dealer actually paid. The gap is your negotiating room. So CarEdge, which might be a useful tool to you, publishes invoices prices publicly. So you should perhaps check CarEdge and try to see whether or not the invoice price is actually the price that is worth paying and whether you're actually getting the deal. Leverage point number 3, try to get pre-approved financing before you even walk in the deal. One of the most powerful things you can do is show up to the dealership with a pre-approval, go through your own bank and credit union. In fact, they say that if you go through your bank or your credit union, you're more likely to get more favorable rates than trying to finance through the dealership. So try that first. Leverage point number 4, ask for an itemized breakdown of everything that's going in the contract, every charge, every fee. Make sure that you know everything that you're going to be paying for. You should not walk around blind. You might incentivize them to maybe take some stuff off if they know that you're checking their work. Leverage point number 5, listen, say no and mean it. If they're asking you add-ons, don't bend, don't fold, just say no and be willing to walk away over the fact that they're pushing add-ons to you. You have got to be able to say no. Stand up for yourself. That's what this is all about. Make sure that you can say no realistically, that you already know that you don't want any add-ons that are not going to add real value to this purchase, especially if you can't afford it, because you're going to be paying interest on the add-ons that they give you. Leverage point number 6, don't be afraid to walk away. You should be willing to walk away from the negotiation if they're not giving you what you want. I mean, honestly, if the dealership is not really providing you real value, you feel forced, pressured, or coerced, walk away. Come back another day, renegotiate, go to another place you feel comfortable. That's one of the best leverage points that you could have. Actually walk away, mean it when you say it. Leverage point number 7, if a dealer violated your rights, you can file a complaint. You can go to reportfraud.ftc.gov to let the FTC know what dealer is actually kind of screwing you out of your own rights. Don't be afraid to let them know that you're going to report them if you suspect that there's something going wrong. But then, of course, ultimately, just get out of there, right? Don't just stick around and stay to negotiate with them. It's time to leave if you're feeling uncomfortable. The power in this market is yours. Don't leave that power at the door. If this video helped you to understand what your powers are, what your rights are, what your leverage points are, make sure you like and comment in this video and let me know. Have you recently negotiated a car? Have you recently negotiated a price? Have you recently negotiated a deal at a dealership? I want to hear your experience. Let me know about what happened. All right. Until the next time, I'm Micah and I'm out of here.